Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis ready for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup as you get a peek at some of the big players in today's game, and you're a big player in today's game as well. Let's get the party started. Here's Chandler Catanzaro ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Santa Clara. This will be fielded at the 6. On first down, Stafford here. To the right side, it's Kelsey. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On first down, again, they go Procise. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
A second down carry for Procise. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of...
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because... This is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
This will be taken at the 10. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Leopard. Slow, slow, slow. Eagle. Zebra.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flush to his right. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he's brought down after a good gain. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Let's go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Fighting through. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? when the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. So third down, just 1 yard to go.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And that is incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards, but instead, offense out there. They're going for it. Now a handoff here to his running back, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Well, if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 5, maybe you think about the field goal there, but on 4th and 1, this is a way to tell your offense, hey, I believe in you. You can do this. And sure enough, they're going to pick up the first down.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
Tiger! 200 jet!
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming...
He rifles one that's intercepted. And he's got room. A great read. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. The 30, 10, 5, and into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Leopard!
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one. And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Here we go.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. So the D-line's going to spread out. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Flushed out right. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. After the interception, and he'll be hit from behind and taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on third down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The 13 yards that time at a first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. For these situations, first down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And now they're in the hurry-up. On first down, Procise. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running...
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here we go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to let it go again. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
200 jet.
They'll throw now on the final play. Escaping the pressure right. Now on the run. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A very solid gain of 27. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this one complete to Virgil Green. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And to give this time to the tailback. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Leopard, Eagle. Here we go. Blue 58. Blue.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. In the red zone this time. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL?
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit. In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
All right, boys, here we go. 80.
So they will go for it. Stafford toward the sideline, and he will have the 1st down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 1st down, Stafford here. And Brate has it over the middle. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Dante Fowler coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, Stafford. Going deep this time for Miller. And no, it's incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Time starting to run out here in the 4th. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory.
Check. 210.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Eddie Goldman able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the 2nd half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Easy. Let's go. Slow. Zebra. Leopard.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. Shreds the tackle. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And quickly they get to the line. They'll run with Procise. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. He may try and run for this. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They come up in an offset eye. They'll go with Procise. And he is going to lose yardage here. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time, gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They'll come out in the pistol. He's back to throw. Deep drop. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And a nice gain at 21 yards. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Back to throw. Green with a catch left side. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter, you got to feel pretty good as a defense.
He'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And now a first down following that long gain. They come out here in the eye. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now Stafford. He's got it complete to Braxton Miller. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. $5 yards left for the offense. It's second down. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, they run. Again, it's Procise. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So now this thing's coming down to the big left leg of Sebastian Janikowski. They'll spot it at the 40. It's a 50-yard kick for the win. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Here's Procise. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Right back to Procise. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
We're rolling. 180.
On the handoff, this is Procise. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Set. 280. 20 hot. 20 hot.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
We've got a 3rd and 11. Play action. Stafford. And Allen's got it. 18 yards there and a 1st down.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
We go set, 180.
In motion left goes Allen. This is Procise on the carry. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down.
We go set, get on 20. Set.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. And this seemingly endless drive continues. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll hand it off to Procise. And he goes. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Procise. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here in overtime, and we'll be back. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown. Finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
That's caught at the 25. A huge play there in overtime, and even 50 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where...
Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it. Picked off by the legend, Ray Nitschke. And that's how this one ends, in dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goal is from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.